We'll pass.
Maybe I'll start leaning over there now.
No tossing. Yes.
I thought I saw some dents. That's just how it's made. I thought maybe that's from throwing it.
You're funny, you. Oh, man. Here, I'll show you this real quick then. This is one of the tools in the ecosystem.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so it's because a lot of the SBA service centers, they have their websites. You can see all their consultants, but they have to filter it through SBA certification regulations. Because we're SBA lender, we can cut through some of that fat. So we know all the consultants in the Inland Empire. And these are all free consultants. And we know their entire center for contracting team. They have 6 in the Inland Empire, and we're continuing to build more relationships across the state.
Well, y'all got quiet in a hurry. Good evening, everyone. No, we got to do better than that. There's $16,000 worth of prizes on the line tonight. Good evening, everyone. Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. So my name is Tim Gramling. I'm the Dean of the Dr. Robert K. Jebb School of Business. I am delighted to see you all tonight, and we are excited about the 7th Annual Business Plan Competition. Let's give it up. So before we do anything else, let's take a moment, let's bow our heads, and let us pray. God, we are grateful for you tonight, for this opportunity for our students to showcase their skills, to be able to demonstrate ideas that you've given to them, that they've thought about and toiled over and prayed about. And I'm praying, God, that you allow each and every one of them to make their best possible presentation tonight. We thank you for our judges. We thank you for our audience who will serve in the role of judge as well. And we pray that you would help us all to provide helpful feedback, and most of all, to honor you in the things that we do with one another tonight, in every word that is said, in every expression that is made. I know you're able, Lord. We ask you to do it for us and manifest in this place. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Let's give God one more hand of praise right before we begin. So I would like to thank all of our participants, all 7 teams tonight who have prepared with great vigor, and we're excited to see what God has to say through you tonight. We also are thankful for several in our audience who I wanted to acknowledge among our faculty. So please join me in thanking, and we'll call them each. First of all, we'll start with Professor Dr. Keenan Alderson. We'll continue with Professor Dr. Adele Harrison. And Professor Dr. Ken Meinzinger. Also joining us tonight, Assistant Professor Rawson Willis. And speaking in just a moment, Assistant Professor Nolan Gouveia. I'm also extremely excited by my Associate Dean for the Management Division, who is making preparations now, Dr. Tad Hove. Let's give it up for Dr. Hove. And acknowledging one of my colleagues who certainly is here, and we'll see how it goes later on, because depending on how things go, I'm going to hear about it all year long. He is the Dean of the College of Engineering, Dr. Phil Van Aster. All right, all that hollering, we're going to see about that later on. Okay, in addition, I see the director of our Career Center, Lisa Blair. Let's give it up for her as well. And we have a number of other individuals representing various parts of the university, but I'd be remiss if I didn't ask us to thank God for 2 individuals in particular representing our provost office tonight, Ms. Jenny Riad. Let's give it up for her. And our amazing marketing and conferences and events team, without which this would not be possible. Let's give a strong hand of applause for all of these individuals. Now, I have a huge administrative team which makes this happen, which includes a number of individuals I'll call on at the end of the competition. But in the meantime, I wanted to take this time to talk a bit about why we do this. So 7 years ago, a generous donor made up in their minds to incent entrepreneurial activity here at CBU. And the idea was born to create a competition that would give students an opportunity, but also an incentive, which is why the prizes. And so we are so grateful. This competition has been permanently endowed with the university, so we'll be doing this every year in perpetuity, and I'm so excited that it is happening here. So to tell you a bit more about the competition, its history, and its worth today, please join me in welcoming Assistant Professor Nolan Gouveia.
All right. Hi, everybody. So my name is Nolan Gouveia, or you guys probably know me as Professor G. Excited for this. This is my favorite event of the year. Super exciting to see not only what you've come up with and just how you can present it, but also what gifts God's given you. It's just exciting for me to see kind of, what's going on in those brains. It's always fun for me to see you present in class, but you kind of have to. You have to present in class, right? But here you want to, and so it's exciting for all of us to see that. What I wanted to make sure that you understand is this is the beginning. This is not the end. So for some of you, you're going to win tonight, and that's going to be awesome. But for all of you, you made it this far. You guys are all finalists, and I'm so proud of you. But just remember that when you finish this competition and when you come up here and you present, you're going to have the judges' feedback, and that's where we get started, okay? So I want to see you in my office next week, and we're going to work on this, and we're going to continue working on this throughout the summer, and we're going to build this thing into a business, okay? So I'm excited for you guys. Good luck.
And now, we're very close to beginning the competition because we're about to introduce the judges. But before I do that, let me remind you of what is at stake. So tonight, in first place, the first place winner will win $7,500 in cash. So let's give God some praise for that. Now, note, we do not have a suitcase somewhere with cash. So, no, you're going to get a voucher that you'll see later on. But that's $7,500 cash prize. The second place is $5,000 in prizes. And that's cash. That's cash. That's cash. And then third is $2,500 in cash. Is that all right? Yeah. All right. Very good. In addition, if you do your math, that adds up to $15,000. So that means for the teams that remain, we will have at least some amount of prize money for every team that competes. So let's give God some praise for that. So now I'm going to hand it over to, operating from the side today, our Director of Academic Operations, who will introduce our judges and begin the competition. Please join me in welcoming Raequel Patterson.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome. And aren't we excited about tonight's event? So, all right. So I get the wonderful portion of introducing our judges. So I will get started, and let's get on. So Rodney Couch is the president and of Preferred Hospitality, Inc. And of course, like I told them, don't leave this with me. Let me start over. Rodney Couch is the president of Preferred Hospitality, Inc., which is founded over 30 years ago. He has grown the organization from a single seafood restaurant to a thriving hospitality management company, overseeing Market Boiler restaurants, Blue Water Grill restaurants, and Provider Contract Food Services, which manages restaurants and catering for CBU. His companies have earned multiple accolades, which being voted as the best private college food program in the U.S., according to niche.com. So let's welcome Rodney Couch one more time. And then we have Michael Riad. Michael is an account executive with Esri and is double graduate of the JAB School of Business with his bachelor's degree from 2018 and his MBA in 2021. After a successful internship at Pepsi, he was promoted to sales manager leading a team of representatives that grew territory revenue to over 27 million. Michael has a passion for technology and helping businesses harness the power of location intelligence to drive growth and innovation for the next generation of apps. Let's welcome Michael Riad. And Brian Kennedy Jr. Brian is the executive director of AMPAC and Business Capital. AMPAC helps small businesses seek the scale throughout the state of California, providing loans, coaching, and training resources to help small businesses grow to their businesses, maximizing its partnership with the U.S. Small Business Administration and the Department of Treasury as a community development financial institution. AMPAC has facilitated over $1 billion in small business loans. Let's welcome Mr. Kennedy Jr. And Naomi Stone Wilhelm. Naomi is the founder of and CEO of MugenKioku. I'll get it. She is certified permitting professionals and Envision Stability Professional. With 26 years of experience in sustainability and environmental consulting, specializing in federal, state, and local regulations. She holds a bachelor's in science in environmental engineering and science from Massachusetts Institute of Technology and an MBA in social entrepreneurship from Columbia Business School. Tongue twister. Let's welcome Ms. Naomi Wilhelm. All right, so now teams, I just want to remind you the ground rules, I should say. You have a strict 5-minute pitch. So our timer is here on my left, so that will be on your left as well. The timer will go ahead and set your 5 minutes. Once you hear the wonderful sound, if you want to give them, Randy, an example of the sound. Wait for it. Okay, so that's your sound. Once you hear the timer go off, you must stop where you are in the presentation. After your presentation is done, then the judges will have 2 minutes to converse amongst themselves, and then they have 5 minutes to go ahead and ask you questions regarding your presentation. After the judges finish their 5 minutes, which you will get that same beep sound, then you have 30 seconds for any additional feedback, and then the presenters will be dismissed from the stage. Once we continue, you will be able to conclude your time here in the auditorium, so you do not have to leave the auditorium once you have completed your presentation. All right, so let's get to the next phase. Let's see. To ensure fairness for each team competing, we will have each team wait outside in the auditorium to the left, which is on my left, your right, if you are facing me, but you will be escorted out to your left to wait until each team has completed their presentation. So there will be a staff member out there who will let you know when it's time to enter, and then they will go ahead and let you in. You will come in through this my left, your right, come in this side and get prepared for your presentation on the stage. So before I do any additional things, I think we're all ready. Randy, are you ready? All right, we're ready. So I'm going to read off the first team, but I'm going to have all the teams, the presenters, please stand. All the presenters for tonight, please stand. All right, and everyone to leave the auditorium to your left, my left, your right, and the only one to stay is Puzzle Progress. So if I can have puzzle progress come on over here. All right. So I'm going to have Rendy get us ready. Make sure everyone is. Are we ready? Okay. And Rendy, it will be facing them so they can see it on stage. And here's the clicker there. Thanks for asking. So.
The clock starts when we start presenting, right? Okay.
All right, let's give them a hand as they prepare to go on the stage. Begin. You may begin.
Did it start already? Yeah. You're good to go. Career paths feel like a puzzle. We want to help put the pieces together with puzzle progress. Because it's scary that you can get straight A's in college, but still be about to fail in life.
What do you mean, fail at life?
Well, if you're part of the 52% of students that don't know how to find the right career path, part of the 47% that don't feel career prepared, can't create meaningful connections, or part of the 88% not equipped to handle their personal finances. This is a problem. These are huge life skills, and there is a gap between what you're taught in the classroom and career preparation. There's already incredible resources on campus to help, but a lot of 18 to 24-year-olds aren't ready to pursue this themselves to find them. So we wanted to compile one document to help them get started with their journey. As I was interviewing these departments, I met Dylan, the student assistant lead at the Career Center.
Yeah, and when Jenny came to me with this idea, I realized she's not the only student in this boat. There's many students just like her that are seniors a couple months away from graduating, don't know how to write a resume, don't know what their career path is going to look like, so they ultimately just lacked career direction.
Which is why the direction is the first piece of the puzzle in our workbook. I personally was struggling with this as a senior about to graduate, and with a business degree, everybody's asking, what do you want to do with that? And so we wanted to help students find their direction so that they know what's going to be a fulfilling career path for them. Then we want to help them with their application to get that dream job. So their resume, cover letter, and interview. We want to help them create meaningful connections, networking in person and online with their LinkedIn profile. And we want to help them with the allocation of their time and money. We are not here to pridefully proclaim that we are the only resource students need in their career journey, but we are the unifying and first resource that students should use in their journey.
Absolutely, and when it comes to competition, our largest competitor is going to be True Motivate. They sell a one piece of our four-piece puzzle, which is just motivation compared to our direction. But we differentiate from them in a couple ways. The first being that we actually have a seminar process in which we plan in phase 2 of our company to actually come to college campuses and coach students through our four-piece puzzle, which is vastly different from True Motivate's just guided assessment plan.
Colleges fiercely compete for reasons for prospective students to attend their campus. Wouldn't a great reason be a quality career preparedness statistic? We think so, which is why we want to partner with career centers and first-year experience programs to take 3,000 puzzled freshmen into prepared freshmen. So by partnering with first-year experience programs, we could be on their syllabi required materials list. Students could purchase our workbook through educational channels and Amazon like they would any other textbook.
From there, we can build our platform on social media platforms like LinkedIn, podcasts, and YouTube channels. We have connections to LinkedIn influencers and personalities, podcast hosts, and YouTubers. So from there, that helps us build validity and credibility that we can eventually establish that seminar process on top of.
We will be selling our workbooks on Amazon for $15. This is competition-based pricing, positioning us in the market with other self-help books and books in the business genre. It's also cost-based pricing. We have a production cost of $7.30, and this is for a quantity forecast of 500 units. If we had a higher forecast, then our production cost would be even lower and our profit margin even better. We are asking for $30,000 for 20% of our company. This $150,000 valuation is justified by achieving that in net profit in our 3rd year of business. And this ask would completely cover our 1st year of expenses.
But Jenny, is it feasible?
This business is feasible. You're holding the prototype of the workbook, and we have the connections to partner with these departments and get it in the hands of students.
But does it actually work?
It does, and we can prove it with results. In December, I gave a seminar on LinkedIn showing students everything that should be on their profile with a checklist, surveyed them pre and post-seminar to see their learning growth.
As you can see in light blue, about 60 students averaged in the 1 to 3 category, showing that they had a minimal understanding of what LinkedIn was. However, by the end, highlighted in green, 60 students alone score a 5, showing that they had an understanding post-seminar what LinkedIn is and how to effectively connect. And this is just the power of one of the pieces of our puzzle.
Colleges need a quality career preparedness statistic. Students need the pieces of their puzzle put together. We want to put these pieces together with Puzzle Progress.
Awesome. That is wonderful. All right, judges, you have 2 minutes to converse. Again, also, I forgot to mention to the audience while the judges are conversing, we will have a portion where the audience will be voting for our teams. So please keep mindset of who you liked, write down notes, take little things, mental notes, pen and paper on your phone. And then also at the end of the presentation, there will be a QR code for you to submit your votes. All right, so that's our 2-minute mark. Judges, this is your 5-minute mark to go ahead and ask questions. You do have to share the mics, unfortunately.
That's all right. So first and foremost, hello. Excellent job. Great start for this pitch competition. Really excited for today. Once again, Brian Kennedy. So one of the questions I have, I see this physically. As you all know, the world is very digital. Is this already available online as well?
This is about to be offered online on an Amazon seller's account, which allows a print to download option, which is really convenient because then we don't have to store inventory. So as soon as a customer purchases, it will download for them, and we're working on an online version as well.
Thank you.
Tagging on to that, what would your price point be for the online version?
Price point would be the same, but the production cost is going to be drastically different because we have a 99-cent seller's fee with the individual Amazon seller's account, but the production cost of $7.30 would be absent because we're not printing the material any longer.
And do your costs include the cost of shipment on the physical version?
The price of $15 plus shipping and tax would be included on Amazon.
Well done, thank you. I wanted to ask about scalability as you build your brand. I mean, clearly, there's margin in the actual, workbook itself, but there's nothing for salary and wages for yourselves as you build the brand. Can you speak about that?
We personally didn't include a salary or wages yet because this has started as a passion project. Our heart was to communicate well these skills to equip people, and so we just started the workbook because we felt like people needed it. And as we grow, we're happy to put in sweat equity, and once we get to the stage where we need to hire out people, then we'll add that expense in later years of our financials.
Echo their sentiments. Great job. I think this is an absolutely amazing direction. I think every student needs some sort of help. I guess my only question is, how would this be any different? How do you prevent just a career center from implementing some of the great ideas that you have here themselves, and just not have these workbooks or incentivize these students to buy them?
Absolutely. So kind of what the goal of our this workbook really is we're trying to supplement students to go towards career centers. This is not, like we mentioned, we're not trying to take the place of a career center. Ultimately, this is a tool, a first step even, that we're trying to give to students. That way we fix this number, 24% of students report they use their career centers. That's a really low number. That's 1/4 of all student populations. We want to get that number up by ultimately creating, through our seminar or through our workbooks, creating this kind of practice of the piece, and then ultimately they're going to career centers to be able to put this into practice, have career centers look at their resumes, practice interview skills with career centers. We're not doing that. We're giving them the first step, but ultimately the goal going forward is for career centers to eventually take the process further. We're just the first step.
No, I appreciate that. And do you have a vision of connecting with these career centers to offer your product, or what is your idea there?
Absolutely. So it would obviously start with FYE as our model, which is here. That's first experience, where all of freshmen on campus go through that. So we start there, and the goal is eventually, once you have all your students who now have this resource on the campus, they're then able to take it to the career center, and then career centers, we'd eventually maybe do something like a certificate system where they have a counselor in the career center that's Puzzle Progress certified, and they know our content, they know our book. They can go over with students, use the resource you got freshman year, and now kind of use this kind of process going forward. So it's definitely something we're looking forward as we go into phase 2 or even phase 3 of our company, building that kind of career center partnership, because that's the ultimate goal. Is we don't want to take the place of career center. We want to form a partnership with universities.
And in regards to making those connections with career centers, we wanted to use CBU as our proof of concept. So we have relationships with all of these departments and have been interviewing them to make this workbook. We started with the problem, not the sales pitch. So we wanted to see everything that's already out there so we could be what's in between. And Dylan works at the Career Center. He is already going over resumes and cover letters with students, so he has a really good understanding of their perspective. And so we would like to use CBU as the proof of concept. We have these connections that can work here as we take it to other schools.
Can you tell us what the total market share is in this country?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we wanted to start with Southern California to be conservative. If we were doing seminars, we would do 10% in our first year. If there's 53 colleges total, 10% is 5 seminars. In our second year, 20% would be 11, and in our third year, 30%.
All right, thank you. Let's give them a hand. So thank you again, Puzzle Progress. I appreciate that. Thank you, judges. And we will prepare for our next group, and I'll have Jasmine come up and introduce our next teams.
Hello, everyone. Would everyone please help me welcome Safe Venture to the stage? They should be getting them in just a minute. Oh, there they are. Welcome, Safe Venture. Okay, you guys are good to go. All right, and you guys may begin when you're ready.
Hello all and welcome. We are Team Safe Venture. We're here to keep your children safe and your families together. We're going to start out with Nick. He's going to kind of describe our problem and how we've chosen to solve it.
All right, so there is a huge problem in America right now where 460,000 children a year are reported missing. And the market options currently aren't really that great. On one hand, you have a leash, which is cheap, but it is hard to use and you might get some dirty looks from other parents. Or you have something else like an Apple Watch, which is a little bit expensive, especially when you have to get 3-4 devices for a family. So that's why we came up with our solution, the Safe Venture Wander Guard. The Safe Venture Wander Guard is a signal to locate your child, and if they go out of a certain radius, it notifies both parties through a vibration. We believe this is a cost-effective and discreet solution, and that this fills a gap in between the two extremities, between the leash and the Apple Watch, and we believe that we have a huge market share available to us, which Jackson will get into on the next slide.
Yeah, so we initially found our total available market to us to be $920 million. Through some market research and some customer polling to see if they're interested in new product in this space, we were able to narrow that down to a serviceable attainable market of $55.2 million. This market is primarily targeting those young parents, 20 to 30 years old, with young children. We also believe we have a great hold on this market because of our advantages over the other companies within the market. As you can see, when we're polling customers or potential customers, they wanted a low-cost, easy-to-use product. Based on this graph here, you can see many of the products currently available are on the extremities. They're either easy to use, but they're super expensive, or they're kind of inconvenient to use, hard to use, but they're cheap. We believe we fall into this nice middle ground, and that's why we want to push it out to the public as quickly as we can.
And to do this, first, we will give it out to our friends and family and also launch a social media campaign to get some marketing going. After that, we will sell our product on Amazon and on our website and get in contact with some family-oriented influencers to get the ball rolling a little bit. After we gain some traction, we plan to get into contact with entertainment companies such as Disney and Universal to have some fun with it, to have some fun with the bands, and so the kids like it more. And also, we plan to get into contact with theme parks and amusement parks and resorts to get more of a mass rental agreement going there for the theme parks to use. After this, Dylan will tell us how the product actually works.
Thanks, Nick. So here, guys, you can see the Wander Guard. The entire device is controlled by our custom PCB and our proprietary radio frequency technology. And as you can tell there, essentially what the device does is the parent will wear it on their wrist and set a range that they would like their child in. When that child's device goes out of that parent's preset range, it'll notify both the parent and the child with a little vibration, letting them know they need to get back together. Additionally, you can also add multiple devices into the network. That way, families that have several children, every child will have a device, and everybody will be covered all the way through. Nikki is going to go ahead and tell us how this is going to cost.
All right, so we're going to be selling this product in 3 different packages: a starter pack, a value pack, and a super family pack. And each of these will be perfect for each different family size. And each profit margin, including cost of goods and overhead cost, can see at the bottom of each pack. And we'll also be selling this product as individual bands, as well as a warranty and a WonderGuard Pro app subscription, which allows users to have a more customizable experience. Using this pricing model, we were able to find this financial graph. Assuming a $400,000 initial investment, we were able to find that we will begin being profitable in late 2025, and then we will break even at the beginning of 2027.
So as for our intellectual property, we currently have 2 patents put out. We have our design patent that includes the design of the WonderGuard, and we have our utility patent, which covers our radio frequency technology. We're very confident in these patents because through our testing, we've reached a 99% reliability rate. That reduces some of the liability on us in case something were to happen. Additionally, one of our trade secrets, our main one, being our custom PCB, and we have also submitted trademarks for our brand names and our logo. This is our team here. We love these guys. I mean, they're awesome. We're all super passionate about just making it easier for your parents, making sure your kids are taken care of and they're safe. And everybody here is very competent in their respective engineering fields, and we're super excited to get this off the ground. Nikki's going to explain how we're going to fund that.
So with our $400,000 investment, we already have $100,000 from friends and family, and we'll be doing $300,000 from a Series C round investment.
Okay, judges, you have 2 minutes.
While you guys answer questions, we do have a couple devices if you guys would like to look at those, a couple prototypes.
What was that? What goes on the screen? So right now we're testing a waterproof layer of like kind of an epoxy sealant. The screen itself has a certain waterproof rating, but we're just kind of going through testing to make sure everything's going to be good. And if we have to add that later, we will. But what's the display? Oh, sorry about that. The display.
Okay, now that time is up. Judges, you have 5 minutes to ask them questions. So we'll get started, and you guys are ready to go.
Right. First of all, thank you all so much. Excellent presentation, and thank you all for your time today. So one of the questions that I'm going to ask is around your competition. Have you all looked at competing technology in the senior care industry? Specifically because my girlfriend's dad has a watch that was $30 that gives them GPS and communications access and they can see where he goes. Just as a competitive industry mark, that's something I definitely want to make sure you all consider. But I was curious if you had looked at that before.
Yeah, so entering this market, our direct competitor is kind of the child leashes, the physical ones. So we're trying to solve or kind of replace those in a sense. There are other products similar to what you were mentioning that involve GPS location and such, but that's not, we're trying to control a radius around the parent, not just know where the kid is in space, because if you want to do that, you just get like an air tag or something. But we're trying to create a kind of tactile controlled space around the parent. Just, yeah.
Yeah, my question was, I was thinking in my mind immediately of an air tag where you can get like 4 for $79 or something like that. So when the child feels the vibration or the parent feels the vibration, they know that they're out of radius, but if the parent moved or if the child moved, does the child know which direction to go back? Like how wide is this radius?
So the radius is actually variable on the device, so the parent will be able to set a preset radius depending on, like, if you were at, in the subway, you might set it to 5 feet away, but if you were at the park, you might set it to 100 feet away. And then the child does not have any monitoring of where their parent might be, but the parent will have a location, like a general direction of where their child will be, and that just uses the same radio frequency technology that we're using to monitor how far away the child is.
Okay, so they know which direction to go into. And the other question is regarding your patent and trademark. I'm assuming those are applications and not actually patents that have been issued, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I think you guys can see by the third question about the technology, we love the idea. I mean, it's a great idea, right? I'm asking a question about the technology itself. So, I mean, it sounds like the geofencing is from the parent's watch or wristband to the other, but let's assume that the worst case scenario that somebody tries to take a child. I mean, do you have geofencing? Are you connected, GPS, so that we can help, alarm the authorities to retrieve that child?
So currently, that is still in the process of thinking, like, on the kind of what if side of, like, what if this were to happen, what if this were to happen? So we're still developing ways that we could safeguard, like, what if the child was taken, because it's a very real problem in today's society. So currently, right now, it'll just keep on sending haptic feedback if the child were out of range, and then hopefully the parent would be able to see where the child was at. But we definitely down the line would love to consider, what do we do if the child gets really out of range? What if the child is taken, or things along those lines, just to see if we can protect them the best way that we can.
In addition to this, just the child band also will have a locking feature on it, where the only way to unlock it is via the parent band. So they will always know kind of where their child is in their radius, because the child won't be able to just rip off the band.
No, I think overall, great job, guys. I really loved the idea of what you mentioned in the beginning is the theme parks. Having it be a service that they can provide maybe an extra fee when you're buying a ticket to have those be available to the customers. I guess the two question that comes to mind is, one is, what is battery life looking like? I'm usually going out, if you're going to Disney or something like that, you're spending a good 12 hours there. What does that look like from the band itself?
So currently in our testing, we have it rated to about 4 hours. Luckily, with the way it is set up on our PCB, we definitely can consider the larger battery options to get that longer battery life. Just for the preliminary testing stages to get it working, we just want to get something that we can plug and play, get it good. But definitely down the line, we can get batteries that last longer, more efficient, and then get a full day's use, ideally.
And I guess my last question is, I saw in your competitive chart companies like Life360, which is a lot more mobile applications. Have you thought about any integration points into those apps so you're not having to build from ground zero? I'm wondering if any feedback there.
So we unfortunately didn't get to that slide, but we were talking about our exit strategy and getting bought out by Garmin or Massimo. And so definitely being able to team up with those companies as well to produce a better product. So
thank you. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Safe Venture, for presenting. You guys may take a seat. Now, would everyone please help me welcome Unahmi to the stage?
taping up, we'll start so we don't waste time. Are we allowed to start now, or is it?
Yeah, you guys
Okay.
could be in.
I'm Becky,
And I'm Colin.
and together we are Unahmi. So our business is wrapped around some of the most amazing superheroes out there. The ones that are overlooked. The superheroes that work 24/7 non-stop. The stay-at-home parents. Unahmi is where family and fitness connect. Our target audience is specifically stay-at-home mothers. There's 3 characteristics for our clients. The first is that they're community-centered. They value things such as family, friendship, as well as people with similarities. They also prioritize their children, which tends to lead to struggle finding balance. They want what's best for their children. They want their kids to be healthy. They want their kids to exercise. This often makes them sacrifice their own health. I've heard from countless different interviewees about how they wish they could work out, but they have to take their kids to the gym. They have to take their kids to the playground, and they sit and watch. Unahmi's solution is to provide family-oriented fitness classes for all ages. Each class is specifically designed with 2 instructors. One instructor will do an advanced workout, such as a full push-up. The second instructor will do a modification, such as a push-up on your knees. This way, Unahmi meets parents where they're at. It doesn't matter how fit you are or how unfit you are. Everyone is welcome, and parents and children will be able to get a great workout in. Now, Unahmi makes money in 3 different ways. First is customer usage, upfront charges, and product markup, such as t-shirts, stickers, and things like that. Now, there's 2 different membership packages. The one on the left in red is for individual classes. This is a pay-per-class one, while the ones in blue is a pay per month. The monthly ones are unlimited, and the other ones you can use whenever you'd like.
Our location at the intersection of Troutween and Van Buren was strategically located to capitalize on high-income markets within Moreno Valley, Riverside, and Woodcrest. The intersection that Unahmi is located at is also a major traffic thoroughfare for those 3 regions. There's also a high concentration of elementary schools within the area, with 7 within a 15-minute drive, allowing for easy transportation between school, Unahmi, and work. In here, we're having some renderings and some floor plans of the physical studio. We really wanted to create a nice, warm, welcoming experience for both parents and their children.
So promotion, that is, you can't have a business without customers. So there's social media, influencers, events, and flyers like the ones you guys saw on your seats. Now, for social media, we post every Monday and Friday consistently. Motivational Monday is a motivational quote, as you see on the table, as well as a fun fact Friday. And this will be facts about the industry, about the company, or just family fitness as a whole. Now, we also host a couple events. The 4 main ones is after-school nights and park days, which are free Unahmi events. They are 1-hour-long classes that work out everything from your head to your toes, and it's free for all people. We also have a design contest once a year, and they'll design our yearly shirts, and we have an annual amazing race. Our mission is to empower parents to adopt a healthier lifestyle for not only themselves, but their children. Now, this is some of our competitors, is Choose Fitness, Orange Theory, and KidStrong. We're the only one that offers fitness exercises for both parents and children without fancy gym equipment. You don't want a 4-year-old using a reformer. That's just not safe, neither is heavy weights. Now, this is our pro forma, and we're expected to break even year 2 in June. And from then on, it'll just be pure profit. And then the wellness market worldwide is consistently growing. 39% of all Americans have gym memberships. Also, within the next 4 years, the health and fitness industry in the US alone is supposed to increase by 171.4%. So our question for you guys is, are you ready to join Unahmi and be sidekicks to some of the world's most amazing superheroes? Thank you.
All right, thank you, Unahmi. And judges, you'll have 2 minutes to conversate with one another. Okay, now that time is up, judges, you will have 5 minutes to ask the group questions.
All right, great job, first and foremost. Thank you all for your time today. So I'll kick us off with one of my initial questions, especially because you have a space up on the side of your presentation panel here. As a lender, we do projects for business owners where they have to give us a very specific cost breakdown of how much capital they need to build out a space. And so I was kind of looking for that in your operational costs, your startup expenses. Do you all have a gauge of what it's going to cost you all to start up and become profitable?
So the startup money we're looking for is $100,000, and this would cover 7 months of expenses, including air conditioning, renovations, and things like that. We're looking to do tenant improvements as well to include it into the rent. We expect a rent of about $3,000 a month, and in total, it's with everything included, we should still be getting a profit within June of year 2. So with those tenant improvements, we would buy an already built. We're not expecting to build from the ground up yet. Once we franchise and things like that, then we'll look into building from the beginning. But just tenant improvements would be the main thing. And since we don't have fancy gym equipment, it's lower startup costs. We'll use yoga mats.
I'm going to ask this follow-up question, and then I will pass the mic. If your startup costs are calculating that you'll become profitable after a year, how are you going to make money in the interim?
In the interim, most businesses don't make money until the 3rd to 5th year, and so we're expecting a loan of $100,000. Now, this $100,000 includes 7 months of expenses and a 25% markup for cushioning. And this would just make sure we can pay our employees. I would be one of the instructors starting up because we only need 3 people in the office. He would be secretary, and I'd hire one other for $25 an hour. And we would be able to pay our employees. We wouldn't make anything as a company. It would just be working on paying off our debts, and then we'll break even by June.
Okay. And I'm going to make sure I give this perspective from a lender. The SBA expects you to pay that loan after 30 days, not over a year. So as you're planning for your startup costs, planning for your profit streams as you're becoming profitable are important too. Excellent, gang.
Thank you. I am one of those mothers that was part of your target audience. And have you ever heard of an organization, first of all, called Stroller Strides?
I haven't, no.
I just would recommend, not so much as I guess as a question.
Yeah.
But the reason why is because their classes, because we're here in sunny Southern California, were held outside, and so their costs were significantly reduced by having the classes outside. Because I was wondering again on the scalability, when you're looking on having 3 people, how many hours, how many people can you fit into that class?
Yeah, so each class would have 30 people, 15 adults, 15 children starting off. We're thinking of having 9 classes a day, and each class ranges from 25 minutes to 60 minutes. So it just depends on if it's a core workout, those are only 30 minutes, or if it's a HIIT workout, that one's 25 minutes, just to give parents more flexibility. And we can get people in and out. And it's the same price regardless of the class size, because we're really pushing people to do monthly packages instead of a pay-per-class, so you get more for your buck.
I love the idea. I love all ideas, though. Have you thought about, bifurcating the classes so that there's classes without children, or is it strictly a target market with children? It seems like the market would be much bigger if you offer classes, for just men and women, yoga only.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that was definitely brought up many times in the conversation, but I really wanna focus on building a strong community of parents that are usually stay at home. Homeschooling and charter schools are on the rise just because of after the pandemic and things with the school systems. So we really want that strong community, and I feel like if we branch out too far into different groups, we're gonna lose that. It's gonna be Mondays at 8 a.m. is this one group that they are close with each other, and it's gonna be parents and children. Everything from the bathrooms to the locker rooms are specifically designed for that. The showers have 2 different sections, like a dry area for the kids can sit in, while the parents shower, so the entire thing is built around that, because we really wanna focus on it since it is something that most people don't think about.
Great job. I guess my only question is, how did you come up with the location being Riverside? I see that you have monthly subscriptions ranging all the way up to $300, and I echo Brian's sentiments about startup costs and the overhead there. why not somewhere else that maybe will have more membership or disposable income to spend on the $300 a month memberships?
No, absolutely. So it was actually so we could start small. I want to do this in the future, and I've actually reached out. Are we allowed to finish the conversation? Or?
Unfortunately,
okay.
That's it.
Okay, no worries.
But thank you so much for presenting today.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, would everyone like to help me welcome Sky Coffee to the stage? Okay, and you guys may begin.
Hi, my name is Kylie.
And I'm Jordan.
And we're Sky Coffee. Sorry.
So we're going to be talking about these things on the board and just a little bit of what goes on behind the scenes of our company. So a little about our company. We're an aviation-themed coffee shop, so very airplane mode, airplane environment type of a company. So we are going to have a room that's going to be an airplane mode theme. So when you think of airplane mode, you think of being silent, just really focusing in. So we're going to have an area for that for people that just really want to focus while also enjoying coffee, with people that also want to get work done as well. And then we're also going to have an area for people that really want to socialize and just have fun with their friends while drinking coffee, eating pastries, eating breakfast, and etc.
Next, we're going to talk about the industry analysis. So like Jordan said, we want to stay consistent with the aviation theme all throughout our company. So the airplane mode is going to be more of a terminal feel. There's going to be plugs that you can plug in your computer. It's going to be very quiet, just time for people to get work done. We're going to encourage customers to put their phone actually on airplane mode so they don't get any notifications. Just a time to really get work done. In the other room, people can be as loud as they'd like. They can have conversation. They can have fun with their friends. And it's all going to be the same theme. Next, we're going to have a flight of coffee. So this is going to be 5 little tasters of any coffee flavor that they'd like to choose. It's a little play on words, flight aviation theme, and also think of like a flight of beer where you can taste different beers, but it's going to be coffee to fit our coffee shop. And lastly, we're going to have a variety of food. We're going to have bakery items as well as big breakfast platters, burritos, omelets, things of that sort. We want it to please everybody. And then for our market analysis, we're going to be in Concord, California. It's a very small little area, about 125,000 people. We're going to assume females are going to like this company best, so that's about 50% of Concord, bringing our number down to 63,000. We're going to try to reach people ages 15 to 29. Of course, people outside of that age demographic are welcome to come and enjoy our coffee shop. We just think that this would please that age demographic the best. Bringing our number down to 10,000, we're going to assume 2% of the market share, which I think is pretty fair. We're going to be in the downtown area of Concord. There's actually no competitors in the downtown area, so everyone that goes downtown to walk around is going to see our coffee shop, bringing our number to 1,600 people a day.
So our audience, like Kylie said, is going to be primarily females, but obviously males are welcome as well. But it's definitely going to have a more aesthetic feel. So think of girls going on Pinterest and wanting to recreate these photos. So that's going to be our audience primarily for this company, as well as people that just want to socialize while getting work done, but also having fun. And then our promotion, as most people know, social media is huge nowadays, so we're going to use social media to promote a lot of our stuff. So TikTok, Instagram Reels, Instagram photos, sharing with friends on Snapchat, that's just really going to be how we're going to promote new products that we have, as well as what goes on inside of our coffee shop.
Okay, and then lastly, we're going to talk about the financials. So most coffee shops offer, tea, lemonades, as well as coffee. We plan to do the same. So our range for drinks are pretty wide, $3.75 to $9.50. $9.50 is going to be that person that orders the large frappuccino, adding everything on top. So most people aren't going to be that price. Our flight of coffee that I mentioned earlier, the 5 little tasters, is going to be $20. As I mentioned, we're going to have different kinds of foods. So our bakery items that are going to be in-house daily, croissants, bagels, muffins, things of that sort, $3.75 to $4.75. And then those breakfast platters, the burritos, things like that, $13.99 to $18.99. The cool thing about this is that they can be served to customers in either room. So if you're in the airplane room doing your work, we will get served to you on a plate with silverware. If you're in the lounge room talking with friends, it will get on a plate served to you. And then revenue is going to be about $1,200,000. That's assuming about 250 coffees and teas and lemonades a day and about 50 of the food items a day. After incorporating costs, it's going to be rent, which is very expensive in downtown Concord. Utility costs, everything it takes to run a company, especially a coffee shop, heating up drinks, heating up food, things like that. It's $1,100,000, bringing our income after taxes $69,000, and then hopefully it will get brought back up after we do all the promotions that Jordan said. Thank you.
That's it. Thank you. Thank you, Sky Coffee. Judges, you have 2 minutes to conversate with one another. Okay, time's up. Judges, you now have 5 minutes to ask the group questions.
Right. Thank you all so much. Excellent presentation. So what I will start with, and this kind of follows along the same lender lines, a business has to make money to make money. To get money, you gotta make money. So how do you get this off the ground? How do you start making money is what I'm gonna ask.
Yes, so we're gonna start with just normal basic coffee shop things. I think we're gonna start on a smaller scale than what we presented to you. Obviously, this is like the big idea, main thing that we wanna accomplish. I think we're gonna have, not those crazy cool heating elements to heat up your croissant, things like that. I think it's gonna start much smaller. We were talking about doing little pop-ups first. So just go to Concord, see if the people would even like the idea first, and if they don't, try another city, maybe a cheaper city. I do think that it would very much please the people of Concord. I live there. So I think it'd be a big hit, but I think pop-ups would be first. Starting smaller than what we presented to you would be the next step, and then hopefully getting to the big idea.
A couple questions I had. One is, You had mentioned that there's nothing like this in the area. Do you know why that no one else has pursued something like this? Is there a factor that might inhibit that?
Yeah, so downtown Concord is very small. There's a lot of chain restaurants. So I think that that is the main thing that people are looking for in Concord. There's Spaghetti Factory, Skibolini's, things like that. There's really no one-offs. So I think that that is the main reason why. There is a coffee shop in Concord called Gratitude Coffee, but it's like in the back. It's like not in downtown. So I think downtown's goal is to get chains, and we want to be the first one-off, hopefully eventually turning into a chain, but we'd be the first kind of pop-up coffee shop in that area.
Okay, thank you. And the second question I had, you said it, but it was very fast. What was the volume of the pastries that you were thinking to sell?
50 a day.
50 a day. Would these be baked in-house, or are you going to go purchase them outside?
In-house.
And at what point do you have to start in the morning? I'm just trying to think logistically now.
Yeah.
If you're going to have a space, how much refrigerator space, how much oven space you're going to be able to have to be able to pull off 50 of these pastries in addition to everything else that you're making? Have you gone through the logistical calculations?
Yeah, well, I think at first, kind of going back to your question, it would be in my house, and I'd bring it over to the coffee shop until we have money for that room in the coffee shop. But I would just say we need to calculate costs of that before we commit to 50 a day. But I would say starting at 4 a.m. to open at 6 a.m. it would be realistic.
Okay, thank you.
Of course, you guys know I'm in the food business, right? So I would think probably the first question is what differentiates your coffee from the competitor's coffee?
Do you want to take it, or do you want me to? I can answer that. Probably just like the different environment feel, as well as like the flavor of our coffee. I think also like she said, the flight of coffee. Most coffee shops you go to, like a Starbucks is a chain, for example, like you just go and you get your normal shaken espresso, or you go and get your vanilla latte, but like this will have flavors that like will resemble like what an airplane would feel like too. It's like the names of it as well. So I think that would be something that would differentiate us from like a different coffee shop.
The other thing that is you didn't mention in your presentation is to go. Are these products going to be to go, or there's going to be a drive-through? And how is technology going to be integrated into the coffee shop? Because without it today, you lose about 30% of the business that's out there.
Yeah, definitely to go. No drive-through as of right now. We kind of want people to come in and create a community in our coffee shop. We don't really want people to just come in and come out. We want to get to know our customers, and we want them to come and become a regular. For technology, I don't have anything for that, honestly, right now. Hopefully, after time goes on, we can grow that. I just really wanted to get the aesthetic and the base of the business down first, and then see after the customers respond what we can do to improve the business.
My compliments on the estimated revenue and the margin. It's consistent with the restaurant industry. It's really, really small, right? And the startup costs when you're doing a restaurant, when you start thinking about building a kitchen, the expense of running a restaurant goes way up, as so does the startup capital.
Thank you.
I think I have like 10 seconds. I guess my question, and maybe something to think about, is the target market. You mentioned like a 2% retention of the females that are going to be attending this coffee shop. But something to think about is going to be the atmosphere is going to be extremely unique. So someone just going in to get a coffee versus someone wanting to stay and enjoy the atmosphere. You mentioned like a terminal feel. Something to think about between terminal feel, or is it plain feel, and who your talget market's going to be to continue coming back.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Sky
Thank
Coffee.
you.
You may take a seat. So with our next team, one of the members had an emergency, but they are okay, and they're going to be presenting to us virtually. But please help me welcome our next team, Team Night Stars.
Hello, hello. How's everyone doing today? My name is Jaden McKnight. I'm originally from Northern California. My partner here, Edgar Gonzalez, is also from Northern California. We actually moved out here to SoCal in chase of a dream of drifting and kind of just diving into the car community very hard. Night Stars, we have been established since 2019, doing small drift events and such things like T-shirt sales and car events and car meets and things like that. And we kind of just wanted to dig our hands deeper into affecting the community on a basis that would actually make a change. I'm sure you guys have probably seen a lot to do on the news with street takeovers and how dangerous the community is of taking over freeways, blocking emergency vehicles from getting to emergencies. And I mean, there's a plethora of other city damages that go along with these things. And the bottom line is the car community here is just a very, very expensive project for a lot of people. And so the opportunity is there for a lot of people, but the community is not very accepting because there's just a lot of money to be involved. So they would rather just go out on the streets and take care of it. So here at Night Stars, we realize that the people are representing the car community and they have the goal in mind of to be the best, which that ends up being a problem. Just because if you're always the smartest person in the room, you're never learning. And so what we want to do is we want to uplift drivers and uplift our car community and let them know that there is other options to be available, such as going to the racetrack, having controlled events in the city, and a plethora of more things that we can get into later. But here at Night Stars, we are just looking for the answers that bring the community closer together to help us reach our full potential. And so hence the name Night Stars, where we all will shine through the darkness. Oh, sorry about that. I dropped my phone. Well, here at Night Stars, we're dedicated to uniting communities through a shared passion for automotive culture, fostering excellence for all, offering a welcome space for both newcomers and veterans in the car scene. And so what we plan to do is to third party with the racetracks in the Southern California area to build kind of a position for us drivers to meet up, to store our vehicles, to make sure that all of our vehicles are maintained, and to make sure that all of our vehicles are ready to go onto the track. On top of that, Edgar can kind of go into where our numbers are. It is a little bit weird. I can't see where he's at.
I'll take it
nor
over.
can I hear him.
I'll take it over, Jaden. Good evening. My name is Edgar Gonzalez. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties at the moment. The 100K, 75K, and 50K. All right. So for our market opportunity overview, what I have there is for 100K is what I'd like to be at in 2 years, 100K revenue. 75K is what I'd like to mess around with so that we could bring in new ideas. So new ideas that the community brings to us so that we could basically bring everybody together in a sense. And then the 50K is the target for this year. What we're trying to do is build up, earn up to 50K revenue for this year, and the next one after that, please.
This is the next one. One more?
The competitors. Got it. And as we look into the competitors, we're going to be way lower than the competitors. Our competitors right now are Dona Media and Hoonigan. Dona Media at the moment is about 20 million, and Hoonigan is about at the same 20 million, 50 million. So that would give us a 1% market value starting off at 50K for the first year, 100K for the next year, and so on and so on. And here is just a visual of our competitors, of where they lie and where we lie compared to them. Our growth strategy what it's going to be is that for January 2024, we had the business plan written up, pro forma, break-even analysis. With the pro forma and the break-even, we just messed around with some numbers, made sure that everything is accomplishable within the first year as we plan. But our goal is to eventually have the 3-year plan that brings us completely to full speed. And this is our 2-year plan. How we plan to open up to the public. We plan to open up to the public within the first year of opening the compound. We want to open the compound by June. We're trying to have a compound open so that we're able to open it up to campers or people who want to do RVs. And sorry about that.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Night Stars. Judges, you have 2 minutes to conversate with one another. Okay, time's up. Judges, you have 5 minutes to ask Night Stars questions.
Perfect. First of all, like I said, thank you for powering through. I guess my first question is, what is your niche? What are you looking to do in this compound? Maybe elaborate a little bit more on that.
Yes. Jaden, do you want to take that or you want me to take it? I'll take it.
Unmute yourself.
I'll take.
Tell him to unmute himself.
Sorry.
I don't think you can hear me.
I'll just take that question.
Connections
So, what we're trying to do with the compound is essentially be able to be an affordable and a safe place for car enthusiasts and anybody who's looking into the car community in general, beginners, somebody who's never grown up with it or at all, and basically give them a safe place where they could learn if they're beginners, or if they're already veterans, where they could go ahead and teach the beginners, or even we're trying to be next to a racetrack, so that people could come and store their vehicles. If they come from far away, they could just bring a flight over instead of having to tow their car all the way here. They could just have it stored right there and have it accessible whenever they come down.
So is the compound like more of a community to store your car, work on your car, and then go to the racetrack?
Yes, it's to store the car, work on the car, to also camp there if they'd like, and to bring their RVs. We plan to include septic tanks and
solar systems.
Solar systems for power. There you go.
Perfect. Something just to think about. It's like I know there's a lot of. First of all, I think we're going to talk about this in tandem. Is the real estate of such a big space? Yes. Second is your racetracks. You're going to have to kind of be near them.
Yes.
So looking at the logistics of that, especially in California, and the costs around that is going to be really important.
Yes, we've already actually looked into it. We've been looking into it for the past year, and we've been talking to real estate agents. We've been talking to loan companies, in particular veteran loan companies, to see what benefits they may be able to help us with that. But in the logistics portion, the racetrack is set in the desert, So everything around it is for sale. Our projected value of the land is about 30 to 40K, max 75. Yes.
So you're building a racetrack, or you're going to have a racetrack, and then spaces you can rent out or buy out?
No, we're gonna have partnerships with the racetracks. Yes.
So what do you think your startup cost is going to be? Track, you know, facilities to store cars, work on cars. What's the overall cost?
So I believe that the overall cost is going to be about 50K. We do not need that much. In reality, all we need is the land, and once we get the land, that's going to kickstart everything from there on. The land is so that we could have people come tent with their tents, camp, and their RVs, so that they could stay close to the racetrack for the time being. Our 2-year plan that was presented up above, that 2-year plan, in the second year, October 2025, we plan to be able to have the facilities there so that people could store their vehicles in a safe manner. In the meantime, we're gonna have tents and just proper storage so that the vehicles are well maintained.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You mentioned a few times that it's meant to be a safe space. What makes it safe, and what are you guarding against?
So what we're guarding against is has everybody heard of the takeovers that happen all over SoCal? That they just go ahead and just block off the street.
They shut down freeways.
Mm.
Start doing donuts in the middle of the
Okay.
street.
So what we're trying to do is get all of those activities off of the street, give all the people who love to partake in those activities a safe and affordable area where they could come. We also plan on having a mini donut pad so that they could go ahead and do donuts as they freely like. But so it could just be safe and away from the public.
And you said that this is going to be co-located near an existing racetrack?
Yes, at the moment we've been looking at Apple Valley Speedway.
Okay.
So yes, Apple Valley Speedway. Sorry.
All right, so my time is running tight, so I'm going to ask this question in a very Linder-like way. So you have some guesses towards some numbers.
Yes.
We call those financial projections. You project how much you're going to make based on how much you're going to get.
Yes.
I'm always going to ask the question, how are you going to make money? Just something to think about.
So the main ways we're planning to make money is camping, RV, and vehicle storage.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but your time is up, unfortunately. Okay. But thank you so much. Good job for presenting.
Thank you.
Okay, so now, would everyone please help me welcome Cruiser Control to the stage? And your time starts now.
I'd like you to picture this. Imagine you're a typical college student and you ride your bike to campus every day. You park your bike in the same spot every day, and after a long day of classes and lectures and exams, you come back only to find that your bike has been stolen. What are you gonna do? How are you gonna get home?
When do you have time to replace it? And how are you gonna get to school tomorrow and the next day and then the next day? This is a real serious issue on college campuses. One bike is stolen every 3.5 minutes across North America. And not only that, but in a 4-year time that a student is on campus, they have a 1 in 2 chance of their bike being stolen.
My name is Hannah, this is Ellie, and this is Cassie, and we are senior engineering students that have designed the solution to these problems. And we'd like to introduce to you Cruiser Control.
Cruiser Control is customizable and simple. Our slogan is tap it, lock it,
Right on. Tap it. Student ID unlocks the system. Then you have about 30 seconds to tether your bike into the system and you're locked. Your student can go, do what he needs to do, come on back. By the time he's come back, he can take his ID, tap it again, and he's good to go. While your bike is there, no one else can access it because it's only customizable and personalized to your ID.
Our product is also fully customizable. As you can see, we have our custom vinyl wrap that our customer can design according to their theme and their environment. Not only is the looks fully customizable, but the buying process is customizable as well. However many units you need, whether they're mated individual units, we will make sure that whatever your campus needs to keep it safe, we can provide that for you.
And students are university's #1 customer. They want to stay ahead of the curve, they want to stay on top of present technology, and they want to make sure that their students have the best experience on their campus possible. That's going to come from safety and also really awesome customizable experiences like cruiser control.
Our product stands above the rest in the fact that we don't charge for docking stations. We don't charge per ride. We don't charge a membership fee. In fact, our product is free to the end of user, i.e. the student. And in addition, you don't have to carry around your bike lock because it's already internally housed in our system.
I want to touch on the fact that our primary market is geared towards universities across North America. However, I want you to expand your thinking. Imagine your favorite local gym. You get to park your bike during the duration of your workout and use your same method of checking into your gym to lock your bike out front. Maybe even at a hotel. That's all-inclusive. You can use that beach cruiser that you just explored with and lock it with your hotel room key. The possibilities for cruiser control are endless.
Awesome. So let's talk about a little bit of the nitty-gritty. For one unit that holds 2 modes of transportation, a bike, a scooter, any size, any shape, we're looking at about $1,000 per unit. And this price includes a 65% profit margin. In addition to this product, we want to also include Cruiser Control Academy. This is going to be online tutorials for installation and the longevity of our product. In addition to that as well, we have a service package that includes periodic maintenance, delivering batteries to the universities themselves so they don't have to worry about how they're going to upkeep their maintenance.
We have a 2-pronged marketing approach. Initially, we are going to do business to business, and we're going to do quotes and demonstrations for different colleges. Then we're going to level up and go ahead and go to safety expos that campus security managers attend and demo our product to them.
Our ticket into these campus safety conventions are strategic partnerships with companies like HID Global, which does RFID control access technology manufacturing. With a partnership with a company like HID Global, we get to use their already perfected projects and products in our design. And with that, we also get access to their clientele. Another partnership that we want to pursue is a mobile campus safety app called LiveSafe. This allows us to use this allows our device to have immediate alert systems in real time. If there are tampering and theft, it'll send an immediate alert to the local safety services as well as the user that is currently occupying the space.
And so that brings us to our big ask. We're looking for $300,000 for 5% equity in cruiser control. This is going to be utilized for a 6-month action plan where we can hone in on research and development with a design for manufacturing engineer who's going to cut costs and streamline all of our processes. The remaining bits of these funds is going to go to make a home base for manufacturing, distribution, got that word out, and then also for initializing our supply chain. And the reason why we want to start with this is so that we can immediately launch into the market after this and claim 3% of the bike locking industry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cruiser Control. Judges, you have 2 minutes to conversate with one another.
Thank you.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. So I always, I think I'm going to start with giving resources now instead of just outright asking questions because they need an equity solution, so they should know about the small business innovative research and the small business technology transfer programs. So I'll start with that. And did you hear how much it costs to make one of these? Yeah, that's a big question that I have. Okay.
Okay, judges, you now have 5 minutes to ask the group questions.
All right. Well, thank you, Cruiser Control team. Great presentation. So one question that I'll start with, I've been asking a lot of lending questions, so startup costs, some of the questions you've heard from others. How much does it cost to make this product? It's not something that I heard, and that's something I definitely want to know.
Sure, that's a great question. So our initial production cost, we're targeting at $550. And I know I did mention the 65% profit margin. So we've expected that with partnering with a DFM or design for manufacturing engineer to really bring down those costs in the first year will leave us with about $350 for the product cost.
I wanted to share this too, as you all are looking at an equity raise, which is different from like a loan. Definitely look at the Small Business Innovative Research and Small Business Technology Transfer Programs, specifically for innovative manufacturing.
Oh, sure.
The SBA has special equity programs for this.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you. Great job as a fellow engineer. I love it when I see a product like this.
Thank you.
Women in STEM.
Exactly, exactly. Question I have, you mentioned that 1 out of 2 students would have a bike stolen. One question is, how many of those students are already using a bike lock? And how does this prevent, because I've had my own bike stolen with a bike lock on it, and they simply cut the line. How is this different from other bike locks that we can buy?
Sure, Hannah's got that for you.
Sure. So the question is, how does this differ from another bike lock if it were to be cut or tampered with? Our system actually has a live wire going through that tether that locks through your bike, and that's universal. It can fit through any frame or scooter, and as soon as that wire is cut, it will set off a decibel alarm. Cassie, if you want to turn it, you can see the alarm system. Also, with that Live Safe app partnership, that'll send alerts if certain number of units have been tampered with at a specific time. And in regards to your question about the statistic, I'm not sure personally which percentage of that statistic has actually locked their bike, but we have met with our client, which is John Fries. He's the Chief of Safety Services here at CBU, and he has told us that a big problem with the CBU community is that students aren't locking their bikes. So we wanted to make something that was easy, that students can afford, and that they didn't have another passcode to forget or another key to lose. They are already expected to have their student ID on them at all times. So thank you.
My question is design. Where does the bike actually go? And when you start to scale it, 10 bikes, 20 bikes, 30 bikes, I mean, how big of an area do you need to store enough bikes?
Sure. So do you want to? I can walk over. Yeah. So I'll just walk over and show you how the box line up. So we have our tapping stalls on this end, which is the left and right one. But normally there's a panel here if you want to show off our inside. So you lean up your bike against it, and we have this handlebar rest, which will be made out of silicone rubber to prevent any damage to students' bicycles.
So one bike will lean against each of the wide sides, so one unit can host 2 modes of transportation.
And we've engineered the angle of lean so that when our bikes do lean against it, I mean, you're really only looking at how much does our pedal stick out, and that's usually not more than 5-ish inches. So the envelope is actually quite small.
Yeah. And then I would just say our footprint is about 18 inches wide and deep. So lining them up horizontally next to each other with the small space that a bike would take in between each slot doesn't increase the footprint too much.
So in terms of your revenue stream, you're targeting schools to pay the production cost of the actual unit itself, correct? Nothing to the end user, is that right?
Correct. Yes, yeah. So we want this, the intent is for the end user to not have to pay. So typically for a student, they wouldn't have to experience paying per ride like our competitors, per ride monthly, annually. We want this to be part of the encouraging and kind of the Disney effect of higher ed, college campus experience. We want to improve student life.
And when we were researching, we saw a lot of docking stations that were RFID enabled, but the problem is they were, for one of our competitors, B-Cycle, that I mentioned, you saw the picture earlier, their problem was is you had to have a membership. It only worked for e-bikes. And we have such a wide variety from a small mountain bike to a beautiful bike that one of our engineering professors has created that's just this massive thing. And we're like, well, we want to be able to house both. So that was part of our process.
Okay, we are out of time, but thank you, Cruiser Control.
Thank you, judges. Thank you so much.
Great job.
Maybe we can get your question later.
I was one of those two that got their bike stolen at CBU. So.
Yes, my brother is one of them as well, so hence the passion.
Okay, and would everyone please help me welcome our last team, last words, to the stage? Okay, and your time starts now.
Hi everyone, my name is Dominic and we are Last Words. Last Words is an easy-to-use online platform that allows users to record messages, voice memos, video recordings, as well as other messages that will then be preserved and then later distributed to individuals such as family and loved ones, and then basically after the individual's passing. So as our mission is a social enterprise, we want to make sure that anyone, regardless of their past or their financial status, that will be able to use our product to basically pass on their stories to loved ones after the passing if they weren't able to do during their life. For our features and benefits, we want to make sure that our product is easy to use as well as secure. That's one issue we may have in the future with the whole AI and coming up. We want to make sure we're safe, as well as the problem that we're solving is making sure that we're able to pass on words to individuals that we weren't able to do during their lives.
So we have three different annual subscription-based plans. We have our essential plan, which is for those individuals who are not living in these senior living centers, and we have our senior living plan as well, which is for those who are living in the centers. We also offer custom pricing based for our potential partners in order to just make the price so that it matches the need. And then we're going to be marketing to our target audience through different events, through our in-person meetings, personalized phone calls, and emails. And we're going to be promoting through our different partnerships, our community outreach, our public relations, and different referral plans. And we have different incentives such as our launch day and different seasonal promotions as well. And we're also going to be, like stated before, our referral program.
Alrighty, our play strategies are going to be our distribution channels, which is going to be our online platform as well as our app stores. Geographic focus is going to initially be launched in the Riverside, California area with over 144 residential care home facilities in Riverside, and soon expansion throughout Southern California. With that, there's 8,100 residential care home facilities in Southern California as a whole. With that, we're going to be targeting different segments of customers, trying to be user-friendly as well as the interface, multilingual support, and affordable pricing. Our next one, we're going to be speaking about company overview as well as the company's values and culture. There's integrity, respect, social impact, innovation, compassion, as well as sustainability. Skill sets required is technical experts, legal and compliance advisors, marketing and branding specialists, sales, business development, and professionals. and much more. Our vision for the future is just making sure that we become the leading platform in the legacy, preserving, helping people achieve their goals and the impact that they make once they go and they're passing.
All right, so our customer overview, we're going to be targeting senior citizens, retirees, people who are moving towards the end of their life and starting to think about how their passing is going to affect their loved ones and what's going to go on to their loved ones after their passing. We're also going to target senior living facilities. That's how we're going to reach a lot of our customers. We're going to have partnerships with our with senior living centers, and they're going to give our services to their residents directly. And then we also have a lot of room for expansion, such as partnering with the VA, first responders, and hospitals. And we have some custom feedback and testimonials here from the bottom from potential customers. The one that I want you guys to really note is Richard, who says that even if there are other companies like this, he's never heard of them before. And that brings us to our competition. Our competition, we have direct competitors, but their marketing is so bad that they haven't, nobody I've talked to about this idea has heard of a similar business. And so that's one way that we really want to step up the game and stand out.
Alrighty, as we dive into the financial highlights, our financial highlights and our break-even point.
Thank you. Thank you. Last words. Judges, you now have 2 minutes to conversate with one another. Okay, judges, time's up. And you guys now have 5 minutes to ask the group questions.
Great job, first and foremost. We were both talking and collaborating on this right now. I think my 2 questions, one is you use the word AI, artificial intelligence. What is the artificial intelligence doing in your application?
So we wanted to use artificial intelligence to basically be an assistant to the individuals. We didn't get to talk about it too much. We don't want to really focus on only the death of an individual. We also want to work on the life. So we want the artificial intelligence to actually remind individuals to reach out to their loved ones, to actually send them a happy birthday, to just continuously always be there to help them. And also being a resource that is before us, before they call us, use that before they call us, but we're always happy to answer to help them out.
Got it. No, thank you for that. And I work in the software space, and AI is a conversation we're always having. A big component that I'm a little bit concerned about is AI right now is in its infancy, and a lot of it is security. A lot of it is what are you feeding it. So maybe talk a little bit about if I'm sharing information with the AI, what security is it bringing in, and what is it sharing or saving to continue to build that AI knowledge? Something to think about, and maybe if you have an answer.
So a part of our startup cost and the first year of our expenses, we're going to be hiring a couple of experts to help us with things like software. And that's a question that we would definitely bring to them, asking like, if we're using AI, how can we use it in the safest way and protect our customers from it, doing stealing information or whatever it can do. That's something that we would definitely have like an expert come and talk to us about.
Yeah, I think the idea is great, just kind of figuring those pieces out.
Yeah, just compliments. I love the name. I love the idea. I like the relationship with estate planners and how that would work. But I mean, from a faith-based standpoint, I love the idea of storytelling and being able to tell your story, post-death. And so I don't have any criticism. I love the idea.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do too. I got the chills when you first got up there. So my understanding is that it's an online platform or an app, and you're targeting a market that doesn't know how to use either. So the assumption is that you're going to be using these care centers to assist them in being able to use the technology. How are you getting paid, and are they getting paid? How does the financials of that work?
Okay, so going back to that, as we spoke about it with our professors as well, it's a social enterprise. So we're going to try to strive for the impact that we're making throughout our business. With that, we understand that financials might be a problem with these older people that we're targeting. So again, making sure that we have that customer service as well as that AI, maybe some support that they might need, but targeting those care home facilities to help us speak to these individuals throughout the process. With that, just focusing in on a tight niche, not everyone, but just trying to get into the door through homes or whatever the case may be. Just making sure that we could just let them know who we are, what we're trying to do, and try to make sure that, again, that their words are being moved on year from year. We have never seen a platform like this.
And also to answer your question about the app would be for individuals that aren't living inside of the facilities. We'd have our own software that's able to be on simple tablets or devices that these individuals will be taught on by our company. We'll go in and teach individuals at the facilities how to use these apps. That will mostly just be simple, easy to use. And if you have any issues with that, we'll move our structure around to make it easy for those individuals.
Great job, gentlemen. I love what you're doing. I love your technology focus and your service and your mission-based approach here. I'll give a recommendation. Think about how you're going to start it today and how you're going to make money today. Because you're thinking about a platform, there's a lot of financing that goes into developing a platform, a lot of expertise. So how can you make money today? Can you start as a nonprofit where people donate to it to where you can provide it as a service free of charge to senior citizens? How can you fundraise around that today? So think about how you can make money now as opposed to we have to build this out, we have to raise this capital, build this platform, step by step. Excellent, gentlemen. Thank you.
Take 100 hours, and sometimes it'll take 300, 400 hours before it actually gets done. Yes. So budgeting that and having a budget support.
Thank you.
Thank you. Last words. You guys can now take a seat. And I will now be handing the mic over to our dean, Dr. Gramling.
So first of all, can we give it up for all of these teams that presented tonight? Everyone did a wonderful job. You're going to see behind me now the QR code for voting. So while voting begins, and of course as our judges begin to confer, what I'd like to do is to share some additional notes of thanks for tonight. So judges, you can begin to confer. And in the meantime, I wanted to just acknowledge a few other individuals who are on an administrative team who did an absolutely amazing job. So first of all, let's give it up for our executive producer for tonight, who really was helpful in organizing all of us and keeping us on track, and that is Raequel Patterson. Let's give it up for Raequel. Also, we had someone working behind the scenes from a social media standpoint and a marketing standpoint, and that is Dawn Carter. Let's give it up for Dawn. Behind the scenes, always helping your dean and indispensable to the operation of the school, my assistant, Mr. Loris Washington. Our outstanding timekeeper tonight, keeping us on time and making sure we moved along. Give it up for one of our amazing program coordinators, Rindy Singh. Also, we have a group of student workers who did outstanding work tonight, so I'm going to call them and let's acknowledge them individually from a social media standpoint, walking about, making it happen. First, Iris Andrane. Also, Emily Pettit. Also, working the check-in tonight, Ms. Elizabeth Lowe. And on the microphone, managing, and what is, I assure you, significantly more difficult than it appears, Ms. Jasmine Burks. So I'm going to ask for the music now. Our judges are conferring. You are voting. I'm going to log in and see where our votes are. And between our judge vote and our audience vote, we announce our winners in a few moments. So please move forward and vote, and we'll have the music play in the meantime. Okay, everyone, I just wanted to give you an update. So judges are still conferring. So I don't want you to feel like we forgot you. We ran off with the cash. We didn't. So the judges are still conferring. So we'll just be a couple more minutes.
Hi, everyone. Wait, can they hear me? Okay. Hello, everybody. Hello. Oh. I just want to let everyone know that voting is over and the judges will be back soon. And yeah. Okay, so. Oh. I was like, wait, right now? Okay. Okay.
If I can have your attention, please. You, the audience, have spoken, our judges have spoken, and so we'll be ready. Well, of course, now we have to get the big check ready. So it's going to take us a minute to get the big check ready, which means we're going to start again in about 2 minutes. So we'll be ready to announce our winners, starting with third place, then second, and first in 2 minutes. So thank you for your patience. We're T-2. All right, everyone, our judges have returned. It's the moment you've been waiting for. Let's give God some praise. We got to get ready now. So I'm very pleased to report in third place, winning $2,500. Please join me in congratulating Puzzle Progress. Thank you very much. Now the bank has to get the next check ready, so hold on. So we get that music again. It's just going to be a minute. And while the music is there, I want to thank one more time all of our judges. I'm so grateful. Michael Riad, Rodney Couch, Naomi, and Brian. Let's give God some praise for all of our judges. They did a great job. Thank you so much. It was amazing. We appreciate the advice you share with our students and the connections, particularly the SBA and other funding, and also your experience. We really appreciate it. Thank you all very much. Okay, everyone, thank you for your patience. CBU Bank has got the check ready. So please join me in welcoming our second place team tonight for the $5,000 prize, Safe Venture. And we just need another moment, and we'll be ready for first place. And with that, the moment that at least some of you have been waiting for, which is first place. And let's give God one more round of applause before we go through this. So before we announce first place, we're going to ask all teams, regardless of where you place, please come to the stage as we're going to do a group photo, and then the judges will have some additional feedback to share with all of you. And you heard from Professor Gouveia earlier. No matter what happens, who won, who didn't win per se, this is a journey for you, and it began tonight, and it doesn't end pretty much no matter what happens in a competition of any sort. So please remember that, and remember to continue what God gave you in this idea. So with that, I'm very pleased to share our winner for tonight. Yes, so in first place with $7,500 in cash, please join me in congratulating Cruiser Control. if you can remain in place. If you can remain here, thank you very much. We'll just move this off stage just briefly. And I'm going to ask, again, all of our teams are going to come forward in a minute. But before you do that, I'm going to ask to everyone to please stand so we can bring our event to a close. So we ask for everybody to please stand. So immediately after the closing prayer, I'm going to ask for all of our teams to come forward to the stage so we can celebrate you together. So let's take a moment, let's bow our heads and let us pray. God, we are so grateful to you for what our eyes have seen, our ears have heard tonight. We thank you for the ideas that have gone forth, for all of our competitors, for all of these students, for the ideas you've given to them. And God, we pray that you continue to guide them and that you would continue working with them, because you have birthed these ideas in them. And we know you're the one that has begun the work, so you'll complete it all the way until the day of Jesus Christ. We pray that you bless and keep our judges, our team members, our staff, our faculty here at the JAB School, all of our students and guests here at CBU, that you encourage us and allow us to continue to celebrate with one another all the great things you have done. Please bless us, keep us, abide with us, we pray now. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. One more round of applause, please. And all our competitors, please come to the stage. All competitors, please come to the stage. And we'll have a group photo and some additional feedback from the judges. All of our competitors.
I'm one of those small businesses. I started it, so that's why I'm always getting back in. So you're like one of their success stories. Yeah, my eye is they have a concept of having a blue sky eye. So I had the first company, and then